One more game.
Sully rolls out right, wide open, caught. Touchdown, Iowa. Touchdown, Jacob Gill.
I love it.
And I'm happy to tell you it's an Iowa Hawkeye victory.
The Hawkeyes, the Tigers, live from Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. It's the Music City Bowl. Join us Monday, December 30th. Our coverage begins at 11:30 on the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield. On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield. This is the Fight for Iowa podcast. Here's the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin.
The University of Iowa women's gymnastics team is ranked 29th in the preseason poll, one of 10 Big Ten schools so honored. UCLA and Michigan State lead the way at 10 and 11. Michigan is 13th, Ohio State 16th, and Minnesota 18th. Jen Llewellyn was named the 5th head coach in Iowa program history this past June after leading the University of Washington to 3 straight NCAA second-round regional appearances, including a Sweet 16 in 2023. 15 letter winners returned from a roster that achieved a number 18 ranking a year ago, led by 3-time All-American in the floor event Jerquavia Henderson, twice All-American on the beam Addie Kenlon, and 2-time All-Big Ten selections Ilka Juk and Karina Munoz in all-around with the focus on bars and beam. With the gymnastics prestige of the Big Ten and the Iowa program, plus its facilities, Llewellyn is honored to be here.
It's overwhelming with just the pride and the community atmosphere here. Being in a college town is unlike anything else, so I'm really excited to be here and excited to experience Carver in a gymnastics meet, experiencing a football game and basketball games, wrestling. We were there last week with some recruits. It's insane and unreal, and I'm so excited for gymnastics season to experience it myself.
Hawk fans are the best, and as
Yes.
you know, and Extreme Arena too out in
Yes.
Coralville will host a meet or two.
Yep.
I have a granddaughter who's 11 and very involved in dance and gymnastics, and so we came down to the Big Ten Championships held at Extreme Arena. I think going on 2 years, maybe a year ago. I can't remember, but what a great atmosphere to have all at the time 14 Big Ten teams in one building.
Yes,
and it was crazy and. So many talented athletes.
Absolutely.
It's a great sport. It's an Olympic sport, and it's a sport that's known worldwide. And some of the famous names in the history of the sport we still know today.
that's right. Absolutely.
Well, what are you excited about? What events? Talk about your returnees. I was noting in the handout, 3 of the incoming freshmen at Iowa represented Team Canada at the 2024
That's right.
Olympics. Aurelia Tran, I hope I got that right, Cassie Lee, and Sydney Turner.
Yes, so all 3 of them competed in Paris for Team Canada, did amazing. They all hit their routines. So we're really fortunate to be able to have them on our team this year, and you guys are going to see some amazing gymnastics from them going into the season.
NCAA runner-up on the beam. We're all familiar with Addie Kenlon, Adeline Kenlon. She's returning from injury for her 5th year. I didn't realize she was back this year.
Yep.
What a great leader she will be for your club.
She is, absolutely. She's. We got here in the off season when she was in the middle of rehab and wasn't able to do any gymnastics, but she's been working extremely hard. She was cleared just a couple weeks ago, so she's fully doing all 3 events. She's going to compete bars, beam, and floor for us this year, and she's just a stunning athlete to watch, All-American, a fierce competitor, and just a natural talent out there.
The home opener is coming up Sunday, January 26th, Jen, against Minnesota at 2 p.m. in Carver. Minnesota, another tradition-rich history in gymnastics. Should be wild.
Yeah, honestly, any match in the Big Ten is going to be amazing. There's 12 incredible schools with now Washington and UCLA joining, but I really think our team can go up against any program in the conference, and I'm excited to have some of these big teams, notoriously historic programs, compete in Carver and Extreme Arena and get to show what we're capable of against them.
Where as a head coach now, you've had the team assembled for a while. Where do you expect to be strong? Talk about some of your leaders.
Yeah, so on our events, I would say bars and beam should be our strongest. That's where we're going to have the most elite depth with a lot of our Olympians that are filling in spots there, with Adeline coming back. We have a couple All-Americans in those lineups. So those will be 2 events that are fun to watch. We have some very powerful athletes on the vault and floor apparatus, some really unique unique floor choreography that's been new from one of our assistant coaches, Brenna Brooks. And then as far as our athletes, in addition to Adeline Kenlin is Karina Munoz, who's amazing. She's such a fun spark of energy on the gymnastics floor. And then a couple of other sophomores and returning juniors there. But it's going to be an exciting season for sure.
And you know what? If you got to have a season opener, why not have Iowa State involved, right?
That's right.
January 10th, you open the season at Iowa State for a tri-meet, a triangular with Brown University. Cyclones have been good for many, many years. What do you expect there?
I expect an intense rivalry. The girls keep talking about it and how intense it is. So we're very excited to open up. We had beat them last year at Iowa State for the Cy-Hawk series. And this isn't the actual Cy-Hawk series. It's when we host it, we get to host it this year, March 7th. So I think it'll be fun. I think the ladies are excited that it's a tri-meet, so it's not just a duel. But they're a great team. They have a newer head coach as well. She's in her second season. So I expect really good competition from both teams and just back-to-back atmosphere of great gymnastics.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating, caring, leading research, sharing our expertise with all. Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
The silly moments, the proud moments, even the hard moments. They're what make life remarkable. And they're why Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield is here for every moment. Committed to making healthcare better, more affordable, with more choices for care. And service and coverage that give you peace of mind no matter what comes your way. So you can show up for every tender moment, every brave moment, and every wouldn't miss it for the world moment, knowing that Blue is here for you. Go to wellmark.com/every moment to find a plan right for you.
Something big is happening at Hy-Vee. We've just lowered thousands and thousands of prices on thousands and thousands of items in every aisle and in every department. Online, too. And on many of your favorite products, we've even matched prices with some of the biggest discount stores in the country. Because we get it, times are still tough. So we'll continue to work hard to bring you new lower prices on thousands of items. Things are looking different at Hy-Vee. Come see for yourself.
How about the Big Ten? Are the usual suspects the same this year?
Yeah, I would say Michigan State won it last year, and they're an up-and-coming team. They've got some scrappy athletes, really strong gymnastics. So they've kind of rised above Michigan. I think Michigan's were very capable of beating them this year. I think it's exciting to be able to go against them. They've notoriously been the top of the Big Ten, but across the board from West Coast to East Coast, I think any given day anything can happen, which is a tremendous conference to be in, knowing that you're going to go against great competition, but any given day it could be our time.
A little bit about yourself. You're from Seattle. You grew up in Seattle.
I did.
So you're Mariners, Seahawks, and you coached at Washington. That had to be a thrill. Hometown girl coaching the University of Washington gymnastics team.
Yeah, it was an opportunity of a lifetime. So very grateful for that time here. But this opportunity came about, and it was too good to turn down. So
your husband is from Quincy, Illinois, right down the river. Down the Mississippi. So how did a girl from Seattle meet a guy from Quincy? What's that story?
Yeah, so I went to school at Oregon State, did gymnastics there. That was my first time experiencing a college town, and it was amazing being a student athlete in a college town.
Sure.
This is actually my first time getting to coach in a college town. But after I was done with gymnastics, I went into coaching, was a graduate assistant at Lindenwood University in St. Louis, Missouri.
Good school.
Yep.
Good
so when I was there, they were a Division II institution, and they've since transitioned into Division I. And my first year there was the first year of the program. They were the first university to add gymnastics since Arkansas back in 2003. So unique story. My husband, Cody, and I, we met that first year. He was actually an athletic trainer, graduate assistant. I was gymnastics coach. And then I ended up being there for 9 years.
Wow.
And then went to Washington for 3, and here I am.
Jen Llewellyn was a 3-time All-American and national runner-up on the bars while a competitor at Oregon State. Southern California Athletic Director Jen Cohen said of Llewellyn, "She's an exceptional coach, leader, and person." The Hawkeyes' home opener is January 26th with Minnesota. Iowa will also welcome Iowa State, Rutgers, Illinois, Michigan State, Penn State, and Washington to either Carver Hawkeye Arena or Extreme Arena in Coralville. You can purchase season or single meet tickets at HawkeyeSports.com or call 1-800-IA-HAWKS. More honors are rolling in for Iowa football in advance of the Music City Bowl with Missouri on December 30th. Linebacker Jay Higgins, running back Caleb Johnson, and punt returner Caden Weegan are first-team All-Americans, honored by the Football Writers Association of America. Higgins will become Iowa's 32nd consensus All-American and the 17th in the Coach Kirk Ferentz era. Iowa is the only school in the country to have a trio of first-team All-Americans. Former Hawkeye great and two-sport athlete Paul Krause was included on the East-West Shrine Bowl's All-Century team announced this week, the oldest college all-star game of its kind. The East-West Shrine contest turns 100 this year. Krause was a two-way starter for the Hawkeyes from 1961 through 63. He finished his collegiate career with 718 receiving yards, 263 rushing yards, and 8 touchdowns. The Flint, Michigan native was an All-American baseball player at Iowa before taken in the second round of the 1964 NFL draft by the then Washington Redskins. Krause was traded to the Minnesota Vikings 3 years later, and the rest, as they say, is history. A 3-time first-team All-Pro safety, 8-time Pro Bowl selection, Krause played in all 4 Viking Super Bowl appearances and holds the NFL career record with 81 interceptions. The previous record of 79 was held by another Hawkeye, Emlyn Tunnell. Paul Krause, in his 16 NFL seasons, missed 2 games before retiring in 1979. The East-West Shrine Game gives the very best in college football to showcase their skill sets in front of scouts from all 32 NFL teams. The game is set for January 30th at AT&T Stadium in Dallas. I'm Gary Dauphin. That's this week's Fight for Iowa podcast. On behalf of the University of Iowa and Hawkeyes everywhere, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Go Hawks.
You've been listening to the Fight for Iowa podcast. Hawkeye fans, remember to hit the subscribe button on your favorite podcast app. Once you become a Fight for Iowa podcast subscriber, you'll automatically receive the latest episodes of the Fight for Iowa podcast, the Hawkeyes Voice podcast, Hawk Talk replays, exclusive game day content, and more. Until next time, on Iowa, and go Hawks! The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.